see the Northern Lights?
Like where?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, hi. For those of you new here, my name is Ethan and I'm a full-time travel photographer and filmmaker. And this is my good friend Luke. He's a sailor, also a nomad, and a cabin designer. This year, we're embarking on a pretty special project, building and documenting a cabin here in the Teton Valley. So we made it to Driggs. Made it to our home for the next 6 months. And while we were pretty exhausted from the cross-country trek, there was lots that needed to be done. Changing the lights from the horrific fluorescent whites that greeted us to a bit more of a warm, welcoming hue was first on the list. That came before getting beds, furniture, silverware, dinnerware, all of the above.
So we've been here for about 12 hours, not even. And first things first, all the lights are this color, which is just like dentist office jewelry store. And that's just brutal. So pull them out of the ceiling and swap them to yellow. See if we can get it back on. That's exciting though.
Yeah, that was a good fun. Nicely done.
Been here for 12 hours, I'm already breaking shit. Contractors out there watching. Nobody likes white light.
Nobody.
Not a single human being in this planet wants the color white.
In the right-hand corner. Yep, this guy's a champ.
Oh.
Toaster.
Ah, toaster.
Normally. First meal on the new joint.
We chefed up our first meal in the apartment, and while we didn't have much, we had plenty of coffee making things and drinking apparatus.
Not the most artistic breakfast today.
Hey. We sat down to eat in our beautifully furnished living room that belongs in a magazine, and made some plans for the week.
Yep. We should have our newspapers. Yeah, seriously. This is nice actually.
Not too shabby.
And first on that to-do list, you may ask, obtain a whiteboard, obviously, which didn't quite fit in the back of the 4Runner and was unable to be taken apart more, so we improvised a little bit.
Nice cold day for us. I'm Luke, this is Ethan, welcome to town.
We're new here, just near the whiteboard. Whiteboard. Our whiteboard.
And this whiteboard, without question, has gotten the most use of anything in our apartment. The next most important item for the apartment came in not too long after. Our beds from our friends over at Avocado Green Mattress. And after sleeping in our cars and on the floors of the apartment for the past couple nights, we were pretty excited for these to come in.
We just furnished our apartment in one day.
We threw our moving caps on and got to moving and setting these bad pillows up. And for those that don't know, this is my first ever apartment.
Alright, time for the cake.
After traveling full time for the past 5 or so years, this has been a whole new adventure for me. And it's honestly been really, really great so far.
backwards hat, such a mover spot. Oh, you're just sliding. Oh,
Alright.
you're done. It's a square. It's a square.
Dude, this thing's huge.
Yes. Where's the avocado?
You're gonna get lost in this thing.
So this is what it's like to have a bed in an apartment. God, king beds are huge. Short side. I know it's a square. It's gonna bother me so much. I don't know. Rectangle's a square, but not every square is a rectangle.
Yes, I don't think he invented that term.
No, I know he did not invent that term. Is that the correct way of putting it though?
All squares are rectangles, and all rectangles are squares.
Yeah, sure. Squares are rectangles. If you peek your head out, you'll be on camera, just so you know. Hey, will you help me push this against the wall real quick? Yeah, I got it. I ain't that weak. Well, the queen bed doesn't... Why am I struggling with this? You just like melted right into that. It looked like when I visualized someone jumping onto a cloud, that's what that was.
We got to head over to the build site and to the pre-existing cabin that we'll be working at this year. And getting to spend time in this beautiful cabin when it's not booked out is such a treat. Having another space to create, use as a source of inspiration, and just to get to learn more about, it's perfect. And we were treated to a beautiful little end to the evening before heading home to sleep in our beds for the very first time. And then, the next day, we got up to some exciting adventures, heading over the pass to spend some time in Grand Teton National Park. And it still hasn't really hit that we live here yet, that this isn't just a week-long trip like I've done in the past, but that this is home for the next little bit. And I don't know when that realization will actually settle in. What a day, huh? We stopped to do some work in Teton Canyon on the way home, and it just doesn't make sense to me how there's just so much beauty all within such a short distance from us, and we haven't even touched the surface. But also, not a bad office view, right? A quick car wash to try and unsuccessfully clean a bit of the mud off of Cecilia before heading into the weekend. And heading into the weekend, we were hearing reports of a solar storm and possible northern light sightings in the US. And, well, neither of us had ever seen them, and after debating, which I cannot believe we actually debated it, now looking back on it, we decided to go send it about 45 minutes north to see if we could catch a glimpse.
Bueno. Grazie, mate.
Where we're going?
See the northern lights?
Like where?
Oh, I don't know.
We could vaguely see a difference in brightness in the sky when we first got there, but as our eyes adjusted, we could start to see some color. And then after snapping a few pics on my camera and actually seeing them come out through the camera, it sent me into a frenzy. I spent the next 2 hours running around in disbelief. And then they absolutely peaked.
Aren't like they're shimmering. Oh my god. What?
I could see them shimmering and dancing overhead. See the pillars and ribbons of light. Honestly, I thought I may have died at one point. I was just in such utter disbelief at what I was seeing with my own eyes. And with the potential for it to happen again the following night, we headed over to Grand Teton National Park again to try and catch a glimpse of them. But this time with the Tetons in our sight. and they peaked fairly early on for about 15 minutes or so. It was just absolutely wild to see them dancing over the peaks. But after those 15 or so minutes, there was nothing really else for the rest of the night. But even just catching that brief glimpse of them, I was still just up on cloud 9. It was the most unbelievable way to end our first week being home in the Tetons.